Hey, it's Janae here to brighten, enlighten, and ignite your day on day 31. We're doing change part 2 for week 5 of acceleration. All right, so we are getting ready to change as we're striving ahead. We're moving forward. We're picking up our pace. And there's nothing like being able to follow a way or a model to help us do that. And this is a simple model to follow with change that really gets at the inner game as well as the outer game of changing. So we talked yesterday about the pain and the gain, and we're not going to change unless the gain outweighs the pain, bottom line. Okay? At some point they might be even, and then you need to tip the scale. So to go deeper on that, when you've mapped it out, we're going to go in to look at how do you react to change and can drive it as well. So the first thing I want you to do in your notes is to write your change challenge, which is my mission, should I choose to accept it, around your number one goal is what. So write that down. The more that you say it, the more you repeat it, the more you believe it. Then the second thing I want you to do is to kind of divide up your page into 3 columns. On the one column on the left, I want you to go ahead and write these 5 areas, because these are the 5 areas we need to explore around change. Okay, 1 is feelings, 2 are thoughts, beliefs, 3 are behaviors, 4 consequences, and 5 impact on others. So in that left column, you should have feelings, beliefs, thoughts, behaviors, consequences, and impact. Now, the middle column then, and the right column would be these 2 things. All right? If you haven't figured out what they are, they're little padlocks. And the first one is locked, and the second one is unlocked. So essentially, what we're doing for each of these 5 areas, we're looking at the change challenge that we're striving to accelerate on, and we're going to look at each of these 5 aspects, and are you locked in it or are you unlocked? When you're unlocked, you're able to move forward and make progress. If you continue to be locked in it, it's going to be that much more challenging to move forward, okay? So let's look at those. Feelings. It's so important because what we feel is what we put out into the world, what we attract. It's contagious. So the feeling needs to be strong. We need to feel like we're ready for the change, we're excited for the change, okay? So identify what are your feelings, and you can think about your emotions. If you think of the Inside Out movie with the different emotions, we talked about the fear one, where there's joy, there's anger, disgust, what all those emotions play into how do we truly feel about this change. So tap into those feelings, and then what I want you to do is to identify, are you locked or unlocked? And just write down a couple of things that would make you say so. So 1 is feeling. Number 2 then are thoughts and beliefs. So we've talked a ton about this, that what we think about is, truly what we become. And yet beliefs are thoughts that are repeated over and over again, but we can change our beliefs. If we don't want to be something in the past that we've been thinking about, we can change those beliefs. It just takes time. And in fact, that's one of the things. I love my audio recording that I encouraged you to do a while back on your visualization affirmation. And when I had that tough day of accelerating into the takeoff, I got to tell you, man, did I listen to that, because I didn't necessarily have the belief myself, but hearing myself speak belief into me reminded me, okay, this is how my heart feels. This is truly what I believe, and I want to move forward with that. Okay, so what are your thoughts or areas around beliefs? And just identify those. Even to what do you believe about change? Change is possible. Nothing changes until you do. All things happen once we change. Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you see things, the things you see change. When you change the way you see things, the things you see change. So if you're seeing this belief as impossible, you're going to see that. But when you change your that and you see this as possible, then you will see things that will make it possible. Okay, so what are your thoughts or beliefs about change as well as your ability to change into this goal? The third then, follow up with your behaviors, your actions. Okay, so these are the kinds of things that you're doing, and is it in alignment with your thoughts and feelings, or is your behavior out of alignment? Okay, so we're always trying to get that congruency of your behavior being in or out of alignment with your change. So think through your behavior. So if all of a sudden I'm saying and I'm believing and I'm feeling this, but yet I'm sitting on the couch doing nothing, then I don't know if my beliefs and my feelings are strong enough to change my action, because this is where it happens. This is where the rubber meets the road, and you're either going to do something or you're not going to do it. But it all takes place on the playing field right now. So what are your behaviors? Are they keeping you locked or are they unlocking you? All right, our fourth aspect is looking at then the consequences. So we have consequences always from our behaviors. So a consequence of sitting on the couch and not doing anything is that maybe you didn't get your marketing set up, or you didn't do your workout and you gained a pound. So there's always going to be the consequence of our actions. And before the change even happens, I want you to think about now is what are the consequences of staying locked or unlocked? Okay, and what are the consequences to doing that one way or another? Because there will be consequences. If you choose to come, we have 14 days left of this sprint. It's plenty of time. We've been doing so much to move forward. It's plenty of time for you to make that mark, okay? So there will be a consequence one way or another if you do or if you don't. And that's for you to choose depending on how motivated and desired you are to move forward, okay? But we have to know our consequences both logically and emotionally. So Dan Heath in the book Switch talks about that, you know, there's two things we need to drive, and we need to think about the consequences. We need to drive the rider and guide the rider, but yet the rider's on top of an elephant, and we need to motivate the elephant. The elephant is an analogy to the emotional part of ourselves, and the rider's the logical part. So we can do all these plans and things, but if you cannot motivate the elephant, nothing matters, right? If there's an elephant in the room and there's nothing being done about it, you're not going to go any place. The rider can try to be as direct, concise, confident as they can, but if the elephant is moving no place and that's their vehicle, nothing will happen. So there are consequences, and we have to address both the logical and the emotional side. What is keeping you locked or unlocked? Okay, and now let's look at impact on others, okay? Because our changes do impact others. So what are the things that could, impact others and that could keep them locked or you locked or unlocked as well? So the impact of others, just think about, I love the analogy that I've used before about a river and a reservoir. We want to be that river flowing of goodness and greatness and providing our value to others. But sometimes we are a reservoir and we are stuck. And if we continue to stay stuck and stagnant on our goals, will never help others. And that's been a challenge for me for years, is I've just been this stagnant pool of growth, right? And I've been learning all this, but I've been stuck in it, and I haven't been a river of flowing of abundance and goodness out to others. And so I am sprinting as well, like I mentioned, to get this done so that I can share it with others. Okay, so take a deep breath. You have done a ton. You are so ready for this change to keep moving forward. I'm super proud of you. Know that you've been doing all the hard work, and when you look at your change challenge from your number one goal, from your thought of how do you feel? What are your true beliefs around this? what is your behavior, your consequences based on that, and your impact, you will be so ready to go from no longer being locked, but to unlocking the key to your success. So your 1, 2, 3, super easy. One and done is do it. 2, good for you, is to review it. And 3 is key, is to redo it based on your reflection. You got this. I'm proud of you, and let's keep changing, because remember, as Wayne Dyer said, when you change the way you see things, the things you see change. From my heart to yours, be love.